BBC Earth Lab have done a Is the Flat Earth Real video, so I'm going to rattle through some of their concepts and ideas about flat earthers and how they've got the ideas wrong. For some strange reason he keeps using a melon as an example of Earth based on the fact that it's an oblate spheroid, and he has a young boy continually bring him to it, which is really weird. Anyway, he shows some of the 2,000-year-old concepts of a flat Earth, all of which lead you to believe that Earth could be flying through infinite space, and then goes on to explain, of course, that we have other older ideas of the celestial sphere, which are of course wrong. He then goes on to Aristotle and explains again with his young boy bringing him a little melon that Aristotle observed that boats go over the horizon using his little wooden boat, as we can see, and he explains that they disappear bottom first. So I'm going to link a few slides from Matrix Decode's Boats Over the Horizon video, which basically debunks this idea, as has been done about 1,000 times on YouTube. So no boat in field of view, followed by ever increasing zooming so that we can eventually see boats being brought into our field of vision. Obviously this would work in reverse, we could have them disappear if we were zooming out, but yeah, so no boat, then hello, we see a boat. So he's saying that based on the fact that Earth is curved, we would only see the boats disappear if they were going over a curve. Obviously this is not the case, we can just simply use a zoom camera on the flat plane based on the physics of water, which of course is always flat. So yeah, boats being zoomed in pretty much debunks his argument there. Next we have him talking about being able to observe the stars, and again he uses the presupposition that the stars are a massive distance away. Flat earthers would obviously argue that the stars are close and local and therefore perfectly feasible for it to be done on a flat Earth, so not a fact that this proves the globe. He then goes on to show some space pictures and claims that NASA are the key to proving that we live on a globe. Later in the video he goes on to explain that he doesn't have the money to do this, boo-hoo, and yeah, that's pretty much what it's all about. He gives a whole load of space-based proofs in terms of it, including the planets themselves. So again, the pool table argument that if we're on a pool table, everything that's on top of the pool table being spherical like the planets must mean that we are spherical. Again, there's a young boy bringing him a melon. On to the eclipse argument. So he says based on the fact that there's a curve, we are seeing the moon being eclipsed by the Earth, and so I've cut to a few shots that Russian vids captured. I couldn't find the original at a pinch, but he basically shows yes, there is a curve, but unfortunately it's not being caused by the sun, light being blocked by Earth, as these are being taken during the daytime, so with both the sun and the moon above the horizon. This isn't a single instance, there are several instances of a lunar eclipse being filmed during the daytime. So in this instance it's a little bit more obvious. You can actually see shots with the curve that he proposes is from Earth, but during the day when the sun is up, again I'll put some links to these videos to debunk his notions. He does postulate that this is a big conspiracy and proposes that people are using Photoshop to curve stuff, but as you can see from this shot, it doesn't take much to curve any surface with a GoPro lens. Lastly, he goes on to the Coriolis effect. Now, rather than making this video absolutely enormous, I'm going to put a link to Mr. Thrive and Survive's video from a couple of years ago. Again, what's with the fruit? Why is this boy bringing in bananas? Bonkers. So yeah, he uses the contradictory arguments that things are affected by Earth's spin, and this is used with the examples of weather patterns. So yes, as I say, I'll put a link to Mr. Thrive and Survive's video so you can see a half an hour long debunking of the Coriolis effect. Total nonsense from the BBC.